Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betcraft. Okay, today is another beautiful Friday morning, and we've come once again with our predictions. And we know some of the international matches going on across the globe, and today we have the AFCON qualifying matches. Majorly in amongst our predictions for you today. And in a short while, we'll be looking at the matches one after the other. And I want those of us who are coming across our video for the first time, I want to use the opportunity to actually to see that you take our time to hit the subscription button down there so that you don't miss out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. Okay, all right, make sure you do that. Have you done that? All right, thank you very much. All right, let's head to the business of today. Without further ado, we'll be starting with the very first match of today. It is the Nigerian match coming up against Libya in Uyo in Nigeria. Okay, and we look at how these teams have fared in recent matches. From the recent matches that they've had, and also how they perform from home and away basis. Okay, when you look at Nigerian side, they've actually won 2 games in the last 6 recent matches, but they've also lost 2 and have drawn 2 out of those recent matches that they had in the last 6 games. And the away side, on the other hand, Libya as well have had 2 wins, 2 draws, as well as 2 losses in the last 6 recent matches for Libya also. And when you look at how these 2 teams have fared, from home and away perspective, you can see that playing from home, the Nigerian side have actually won 5 games in the last 10 home games that they had, and they've lost 1, and also they've had 4 draws in the last 10 home games that they had so far. So the last home game they played out was against Benin Republic. We saw Nigeria side beating this very Benin side by 3-0 in Uyo on that occasion. And looking at Libya, they've actually won 6 games from away, and they've had 3 losses as well as 1 draw in the last 10 away games that they had. Not a very bad side. They're doing quite well, if you ask me. And the last time both teams met was in 2018, and that occasion Nigeria defeated Libya by 3-2. And prior to that, we also saw Nigeria beating this side by 4-0. The last 3 head-to-head meetings for both sides have actually resulted to Nigeria winning all 3 matches against Libya. And in this very one, knowing that Uyo is a very, very, wonderful fertile ground for Nigerian side, and we're expecting the Nigerian side winning this match in this very, location. All right, so verdict for this very game is actually Nigeria to win out shortly in this very game. So home win. That's our party for that very encounter. All right, and that takes us to the next for today. It is also in the African Cup of Nations qualified match where we have Egypt who will be up against Mauritania. All right, looking at Egypt's side, they have been able to achieve 4 victories in the last 6. They've had 1 loss as well as 1 draw as well. And you look at Mauritania, who have managed to achieve 1 victory and 1 draw, but have lost 4 games in the last 6 recent encounters. When you look at how these 2 teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see that looking at the Egyptian side, they've actually won 5 matches in the last 10 home games that they had. They've had 4 draws as well as 1 loss in the last 10 home encounters. All right, and the away side, Mauritania, have managed 1 victory in the last 10 away games, but they've also seen 3 draws, and that have lost 6 games in the last 10 away games that they had so far. As a matter of fact, the last away game they played was against Cape Verde, and they lost that match by 2-0. And we saw Egypt in the last home game, which was against Cape Verde. Egypt winning Cape Verde by 3-0. And the last time both teams met was in 2012, far back 12 years ago, and Egypt won on that occasion by 3-1. And in this very one, definitely we're giving it to Egyptian side to achieve a result against this Mauritania, and it is the home side to win out shortly in this very one. Home win, that's a verdict. All right, that takes us to the next. It is also in African Cup of Nations qualifying match where we have Angola who will be fighting out against Niger. Okay, Angola in the last 6 games that they played so far have won the entire 6 games. All right, that tells you how fine this team is. And we saw them in the African Cup of Nations. They are doing so well, even though they lost to Nigeria, but we saw their matches. They showed promise in that very tournament. And we see Niger side, their away side, have actually lost 3 games in the last 6 games, and they also had 3 draws as well, in the last 6 games that they had. Looking at how these 2 teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see for Angola, in the last 10 home games that they had, we saw them achieving 6 victories and 4 draws. They've not lost a single match in the last 10 home games that they had so far. That tells you a lot about the side. They don't lose any match when playing from home. All right, when you look at the away side, Niger Republic in the last 10 away games have actually won. They've actually achieved 4 draws actually in the last 10 away games, but they've not won a single match from away, and they've lost 6 out of those 10 away games that they have so far. So that tells you that this very game, it is the scale is tilting towards the home side, achieving a result in this very one. But the last time they met was in 28, when we saw Angola defeating this side, by 2-1 from away on that occasion. And in this very one, we expect to see, the home side achieving a result. But verdict for this very game is actually the home side to either win or draw, and under 4.5. That's a verdict for that very game. Okay, and that takes us to the next. It is in European Under-21 Championship qualification, where we'll have Turkey Under-21 coming up against Latvia Under-21. Okay, Turkey Under-21 in the last 6 games have won 4 games out of those, and have had 1 loss as well as 1 draw in the last 6 recent games that they had. And we look at Latvia Under-21, their away side, they've actually managed to achieve 3 draws in the last, in the last 6 matches, but they've lost 3. Not winning a single match in the last 6 games that they have so far. And looking at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see that Turkey Under-21 in the last 10 home games have won 7 games out of those, and they've also had 1 draw, but have lost 2 matches in the last 10 home encounters. That tells you that 70% of the home games, for the home side, Turkey Under-21 have actually resulted to win for the Under-21 Turkey side. That tells you a lot that this side are doing very well. They're not, losing their matches. They're winning most of the matches playing from home. And away side, Latvia from away have not won a single match in the last 10 away games that they had, and they've also been able to manage 5 draws from away, but they've also lost 5 games from away. All right, that tells you that not the best side when they're playing from away. And the last time they met was last year. We saw Latvia on that occasion defeating Turkey Under-21 by 2-1. On that occasion, Latvia Under-21 played from home on that occasion, and in this very one, it is Turkey Under-21 who is playing from home, and definitely we expect a result for the home side, Turkey Under-21, who is going to, revenge the defeat to Latvia from home. So it is the home side to win out shortly. That's our verdict for this very encounter. Okay, and that takes us to the next game, which I'm going to be the last for today, and it is in Wales Feeders League. In the Welsh Feeders League, where we have Bango who will be up against Demby Town. All right, when you look at Bango, the home side, in the last 6 games that they had so far, have won 4 out of those, but have lost 2 games out of those 6 recent matches that they had. And the away side, on the other hand, Demby Town have won 2 games. They've also had 2 draws, but they've lost 2 games as well in the last 6 matches that both teams have had. And when you look at how these 2 teams have performed, from home and away perspective, you can see that Bango, the home side, have won 7 games out of the last 10 home attempts. They've won 7 games out of it, and they've lost 2 games, but they've had 1 draw in the last 10 home matches. And we side, on the other hand, Demby Town have won 2 games and 2 draws in the last 10 home attempts, but have lost 6 matches out of the past 10 home games that they had so far. And when you put all the 2 together, also looking at how they fared last time they met, which was in April of this year, we saw Demby Town playing from home on that occasion. They had a 2-2 draw against Bango, from away. And looking at, prior to that, we also saw Bango, defeating this side from home. That was in August last year. So that's to tell you that Bango actually does very well when playing from home. And in this very encounter, we definitely expect Bango, the home side, to achieve a result, to rise to the occasion and win this very match out shortly. It is the home side to win out shortly. That's our verdict for this very game. Okay, and that brings our predictions for you today on BetCraft. So in conclusion, I wish you the very best of luck. I hope your ticket goes green, but also remember that this football matches, there's no absolute prediction anywhere. This are made based on the data that we found available. All right. That being said, tomorrow is another day, and we'll be coming up with our predictions on this very channel. Do not miss out. Tomorrow is Saturday. It's going to be a big day. All right, but until then, keep winning.